This is Last Call Fantasy Football. It is Monday. Justin and Kyle recording prior to
September 23rd.
It is September 23rd. Good job. We're recording today prior to the double Monday night doubleheader.
The Dumbledore.
The Monday night doubleheader.
Monday night Dumbledore.
I don't like this. We were talking about this before. I don't like that they got
I don't either.
two games. They
Also,
are 45 minutes apart, so I guess you can. I guess the only silver lining is when one game is at halftime, you can finish the first half of the other game, and then when that's in halftime, you can bounce back to the other game. So I don't know. I would just rather have more late afternoon games, so where it can spread out instead of having 3 4 o'clock games and 11 Sunday morning. The 1 o'clock games.
Put the Commanders on at 5 o'clock. Let us tune in here and there while we're getting ready for the next game that's actually going to be good.
And you could do
or 6 o'clock, whatever.
You could do 6:30, 8:30. That's fantastic.
That'd be great.
You clock out, punch out at 5, get home, eat some dinner, turn on the
comfy
game,
clothes, pour up a beer, turn on the TV, and just sit there. Yeah.
Well, we're going to be watching the games here in a little bit. Actually, it starts in 5 minutes, so we're going to run through
5
this.
minutes to get
recap.
through this.
I know,
okay,
right?
so last week.
And so last week everyone sucked. And
but we did 21, sold 125 sold.
That's not bad.
Thank you.
I know you were saying gibberish, but it sounded legit.
I said 25 sold twice.
Hey, you got to make sure you let them know. This is our Monday night recap. So we have our back on track results. It's a trap, and our bet the house results. So we're gonna see where we went right, where we went white.
we can no do show today.
It was a long weekend. Where we went right.
I want to be ninja.
Something Chinatown. All right. Let's recap this week. This week sucks, except for me. My team crushed.
Yeah, Kyle had the only good fantasy team for the entire week.
Absolutely. Thank you, King Henry and Rashee Rice, you glorious son of a bitch. All right. So let's get back on track. Where were we? So this was bad for me. I went over on my back on tracks, mainly because everyone sucked. So we'll get there. Essentially, I said Tank Dell was going to get back on track. I couldn't do it because I had higher expectations for this, but Tank Dell, 6 targets, 5 catches, 62 yards. That's it. It was his best week of the year so far, so I wanted to give myself teeny tiny kudos.
Go through your back on tracks. I got to go get my back on track sheet.
This man has one job. I'll do it. I said he was going to have a great game. He had the best game of his season so far, which isn't saying much. He was pretty objectively terrible the first 2 weeks, but good to know he still is involved. He just didn't hit for my back on track. 62 yards ain't going to get it done in this segment. We hold ourselves accountable, and 62 yards ain't going to get it done. So that, and number 2, 0 points for me again. DeAndre Swift did not get back on track. And now Justin's back. I was saying my number 2, DeAndre Swift did not get back on track.
No,
13 for 20. Holy garbage O-line. Holy garbage Swift. Holy
What'd I tell you?
Bears.
I told you the Colts D-line was better than... something I did realize? The Colts D-line, the first 2 weeks, had to play against the 2 of the best O-lines.
Yeah.
The Packers and Houston.
Yeah. And they got to play against the NFL's worst O-line in Chicago.
Yes, that's a fact.
DeAndre Swift, 13 for 20, absolutely horrible. 4 targets, 2 catches for 22 yards. My man he got more yardage on 2 catches than he did on all 13 rushing attempts combined. He was objectively terrible. shaky moving forward. So missed on that. And I'll just round out my third one. Brandon Ayuk in this glorious game between the Rams and the Niners. 10 targets, but he only hauled in 5 for 48. I mean, come on, man. You just got paid all that money. That one pisses me off. When you have all the opportunity in the world, even get 10 targets and can only reel in 5 for 48. Come on, man. So I'm 0 for 3 on back on track, but it gets a little bit better for me when we move on. So just saying. What about you, J-Bo? How was your back on tracks? Didn't find him yet. And if you gotta look for him, I'll just do my it's a trap results. We were 3 for 3 on this one. I take more pride. I think I take more pride in saving people and guessing, or not guessing, predicting, speaking into existence. These players are going to suck this week, and I went 3-0 on those. 0 for 3 on back on track. 3-0 on it's a trap. James Conner was not back on track. He was a trap. It was fantastic. Justin, you hated on me for this one when we recorded last week, and James Conner had 9 carries for 17 yards with only a catch for 8. I said you can't.
Yeah, the whole Cardinals offense didn't do very well.
Marv was fine. Marv had like 65 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, Kyler wasn't great, and they shut down the run. That's just what they do. Just watching that game, stonewall every time. Calvin Ridley. I loved this one. Caleb, should have watched the show. Should have benched him. But 3 targets, 1 catch for 9 yards. Will Levis is not. I mean, somehow, Will Levis had a great completion percentage in this game. I was watching it because what else am I going to do besides hurt myself watching Will Levis try and play quarterback? But 1 catch for 9 yards. That was a trap after his huge 2-touchdown game the week before. And I'm going to say it one more time. We brought it up a couple times the last week's show. J.K. Dobbins, 15 for 44 on the ground with 3 catches for 10 yards. After he was the leading rusher in the NFL, he finally met a real defense in the Steelers that could say something about it. And he had a game. You know, the expectations after that, 5 points, ain't going to get it done. That gets you a trap designation for me in 3 for 3 on the traps. So take it away, my boy.
I've still yet to find this elusive sheet.
It's 2024.
My girlfriend decided to move all of my papers, so now I am scrambling to find them.
What did you prep for this show? You said you got done prepping.
Yes,
the prep.
But as far as okay, so the tough calls I have.
Okay, but those aren't. They're just hypothetical situations we're running through. We're putting our names on these back on tracks and these it's a trap and the bet the house here. Disappoint me, Danielson. You disappoint me.
No, because we had the bet the house is.
Yeah, that's where you said Josh Allen, number 1.
Yeah, I have that.
Okay, you wrote on a different piece of paper than your back on track and trap players?
I guess I did, yeah. All right, for that, I had Kenneth Walker will have over 100 yards and a touchdown or 2. And we said if it's Charbonnet, I would drop the line to 80 yards and a touchdown or 2. He had 91 and 2 touchdowns. So
yeah,
that one was a hit. We have Josh Allen will finish QB1, so we'll let you know when we come back on the other side of the show. And then we had Travis Kelce will finish at top 5 at the position.
Woof.
I don't even know if he was the top tight end option for that team this week. So I believe Jared Wiley. He didn't now produce Jared Wiley.
No, it was Noah Gray. Noah Gray had 13 yards versus Travis Kelce's 30. So there's There's some
Yeah.
trouble
So
in
that one
paradise.
definitely did not hit. So we'll see if I can be 2 for 3 this week after the game.
Yeah. Uh, I bet the house. I was cold, warm, hot. I nailed it with the J.K. Dobbins. No, well, I give myself the dub for the J.K. Dobbins. The hype train will slow down, and now that Herbert seems to have re-aggravated his
Mm-hmm.
injury, their offense is going to get worse, way more predictable than it already was. I feel like that's why the Steelers are able to shut that down. Um, and also,
Yeah, he was
Devon
very inefficient.
Achan will be the only good fantasy option this week. I gave myself a yellow. I gave myself a warm on this one because he was indeed the best fantasy option on the team this week. Granted, they were all below their expectation. Tyreek
Yeah, I
had
watched that
40
game. It
yards.
was that was a
Waddle
brutal
had
game to watch.
20, 20 something yards. But Achan, he was 11 for 30, not that efficient on the ground, but he had 3 catches for 28 yards, so that saves him there. And he had 32 return yards. So he was able to be in that role. So if your league
Matters
does,
for some leagues, yeah.
right? Ours, we do the
Like half
same.
a point
No, it's like the passing yards scoring. So it's at one point every
or
25
15
yards.
yards.
25. But yeah.
Oh, passing, not receiving. Okay.
hmm So that's why I said I'll give myself some grace. He was the best fantasy option. I said he will be the only good fantasy option this week, but he just the whole team fell apart and they got whooped by the Seahawks. And then I will hold the L. Samaje Perine will have a higher fantasy finish than Carson Steele this week after he was the big waiver wire pickup. Perine was 6 for 25, 4.2 a carry, but he had 3 catches for 15 yards. So I was like, okay, so that's kind of what I was hoping to see him still be involved. I wanted a little bit more, but there was no way, even with the passing work. They get the ball to Carson Steele 17 times. He was 17 for 72. Very clearly just stepped right into the
Yeah,
lead rushing
and that's
attack.
actually pretty decent. So,
And it's 4.2. They had the exact same
I
yards
mean,
per carry.
truthfully, that's kind of what Pacheco is doing. He was just also getting in the end zone.
Yeah.
Um, he wasn't really dominating games either. He was just getting, 80, maybe just over 100 yards a game. So
hmm
maybe Carson Steele will be pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it looked promising. I mean, they clearly just gave him all the work. Pirine only got 6 carries.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for a total of 23 between the two of them, um, yeah, still looks like the guy going forward. So, I was wrong. I'll hold the L. I'll own that one. Um, but yeah, we have our DFS update. I am currently losing to Justin 95.98 to 71.6. Granted, I still have Brian Robinson Jr. and Joe Burrow tonight. Justin
Mhm.
has ETN and a
And
defense.
Bengals defense.
Yeah. So, I'm going to need a big game from
Yeah.
both of those guys to
Basically,
do it.
Joe Burrow is going to, you're going to need at least 25, if not more, from Burrow.
Oh, for sure.
That's kind of like the minimum for
Yeah.
sure.
And then even then, Robinson is going to have to do something as well, just to keep pace.
And then
so.
and then also Etienne is gonna have to not do well.
It's possible. You said that the Bills are going to take they're going to take the cake here. So we'll see. In about whenever we're done.
I will
wrapping
say
up.
now that I'm remembering, Etienne was one of my
You're what?
back on track players.
Oh, well, so we will recap that after the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, so moving forward, what do we got? Some key takeaways. What are your takeaways after week 3 is almost over?
I've got quite a few, so I'm just gonna run through them,
Yeah.
and then whichever one piques your interest, we can talk about after I just run through them real quick. So I had the Saints offense is not all the way back. I still think that they're actually going to be pretty decent, but they had
It's a tough game.
something happened. It was weird. NFL defenses are going to limit QBs for fantasy this year. They're playing that single high safety, cover 2 defense, or 2 high safety, cover 2 defense, and it's really limiting the big bomb touchdown plays for the wide receivers. I had Ayuk may be in trouble. It's been 3 weeks, and it's not like he was coming back from an injury or anything like that. maybe he was unconditioned, but still 3 weeks in.
Yeah,
I
should
don't
be.
know.
This was the barometer test. This one
Yeah,
was the one.
with Debo out and you let Juwan Jennings lead the team and have a monster game, that's really strange.
Yeah, over 170 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Ayuk just goes.
Yeah.
Stupid
I
Ayuk.
have Marv, Neighbors, and Bowers are the real deal. Although Bowers did have a little bit of a slip up, he still was heavily involved in that team, and he's the real deal.
I mean, from the Raiders' perspective, that they just got dominated, he still had 41 yards and on
Yeah,
3 catches. It's a hell of a good average, especially for a
right.
tight end. So
Yeah, and then this is one I want to definitely get into. Insurance backs may be the new strategy when drafting. I had this thought. Just hold your thought. We'll get into it. And then Quentin Johnson is actually catching the ball this year. Something I noticed. I know we talked in the offseason, and I told you that I went back and I watched the tape on every ball that was thrown his way last season. And I remember just thinking, like, wow, he actually looks like he looks really put together as wide receiver. He was always open. He just, when the ball was thrown to him, he didn't catch it.
that
And
is
this
a
season,
prerequisite.
this season, he looks more fluid when he's catching the ball and he's making the catches. So unfortunately, he may be the wide receiver one this year for that team.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because they are doing nothing. McConkey
Yeah,
has done nothing 2 weeks in a row. He scored the touchdown week 1, and he's done the same except without the touchdown. And now
exactly.
Herbert's out, and so now it's if you're a Chargers fan, it's positive. If you got him on your dynasty team, it's probably a little positive that there is some a glimmer of hope for
Yeah.
the future. But okay, well, I want to go back to the insurance back, which
Okay. Yeah.
to some degree. So there's the two sides of the coin. I like having an insurance back. The
Hmm.
thing because you essentially you get I mean, you get insurance. You have a starting running back no matter what. Granted, yes, they can then get hurt and you have nothing.
Yes,
But you wouldn't for that next week, you would have an option that you are most likely going to plug into your team.
for sure.
The other side of the coin is you cap your upside because you're never going you might have depth because that player most likely unless it's a timeshare or whatever situation they are unstartable until that player gets hurt, so that clogs a roster spot where you can't pick up anyone else because you have to have you're essentially saying this one running back, this one player costs 2 roster spots,
Right.
and you don't have the opportunity to find the next gem, the late draft pick,
Right.
that could
But
take
you
that leap.
also okay. So this was my thought process of, and I told you this before going in that I had a new draft strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to target, obviously this plan could crumble before your eyes during a draft.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could do your best to draft players like Bijan, who, if he goes down, Algier is not necessarily going to, like, okay, Algier, Charbonnet, um, Montgomery. These are
Mm-hmm.
backs that if you draft Gibbs and Bijan and what was the other one I said? Oh, Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
You have backups behind them that you can draft in the later rounds and basically not even skip a beat if one of those players gets hurt.
Yeah. So you have to find a running back tandem that the team has a clear starter. So
Hmm.
I like
There's
the
plenty though, for sure.
right, but they have a clear starter. But if they do go out, there's not that much of a skill drop off. Like
Right.
just because, a lot of times you can get, for example, what comes to my mind is Derrick Henry
Yeah, if he
and
goes down, it's
and
bad.
Justice Hill. Justice Hill is not going to just assume the Derrick Henry role and get 25 carries for
Right.
150 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I wouldn't.
It's got to be a team that will just plug and play,
Right.
and they'll get the full workload.
And Justice
Like
Hill's
Jordan
not
Mason
worth.
and Christian McCaffrey.
There you go. Especially, and it was a little muddy because Elijah Mitchell was always that guy, and he just clearly got
Yeah.
skipped on the depth chart. But if you were the Christian McCaffrey drafter, granted we didn't know he was injured, but if you have such a high profile back like that on your team, and you know that there's opportunity because that's part of the reason why you like that player, you like McCaffrey so much, is because of the opportunity in the team. They run the ball well. It's worth it. So I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's
Yeah.
just
Because I've been contemplating picking up Algier because I'm like, I already have Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. I mean, I have like Terry McLaurin and Lab McConkey on my bench, and it's like,
right.
should I just go ahead and get Algier? Because I know we already saw Algier was like a top 5 running back before Bijan got there. They
I
gave him
don't
all
know
the
about
work,
that, but he was extremely involved, and
top
he's a
10
good
at
player.
least.
He's
Yeah,
a good
and
player.
he's efficient. He'll get all the touchdowns. So
Yeah, I'm into it.
what's yours?
I was gonna say I didn't have as many, but
Yeah,
I'm convicted on a lot of these, which really sucks because I finally this was the last straw. This is all I needed to see. Number one, DeAndre Swift is unstartable until proven otherwise. If proven
yeah.
otherwise,
I would say it'd
he.
have to be a good matchup,
But
and
that's the
you'd
thing.
have to
He
be
just had the
desperate to
best
start
matchup.
him.
He just had the best matchup so far this season that
Yeah,
they've been
so far
gashed on
this
the
season.
run, and he looked just as bad as he did against the Texans defense last week. I mean, 13 for 20. I mean, bruh, it's the whole perfect situation for the number one overall pick. It's all
Yeah,
ponies and ponies and rainbows in Chicago, and then you start the year. It's like, oh, maybe having so many new pieces with a rookie quarterback all at one time isn't just going to magically allow you to be a good offense. So that was my biggest takeaway because I was vying for
yeah,
him
I
to get
wouldn't
back
start
on
him.
track. And no,
I'd probably start Rico Dowdle over him, to be honest with you.
yes, 100%. Maybe I'm trying to think clearly. I think he is the most unstartable starting running back. I'd start Devin Singletary over him.
What about Javante?
So getting into my second key takeaway, the Broncos backfield is a complete mess.
It's
Stay
a dumpster
away.
fire.
Stay away. I went to the game. I loved it. It was amazing. I didn't even get to my seat before Bo Nix was up 7-0. And it was glorious. The carries and the run distribution for this team this week, when a game that they were moving the ball, they were doing everything they needed to. Tyler Beatty, the one of the backs on the team who didn't see action,
Never even heard that guy's name.
he was inactive the first 2 weeks and assumed like the Estime role because Audric Estime is out, so they elevated him. He had 9 carries for 72 yards. Granted, it was to seal the game. It was like a 50-yard dart, but still, 9 carries for him. And Bo Nix ran the ball 9 times. Bo Nix is Lamar Jackson Jr. out there. He's just scrambling. He's making plays, being hyperbolic, but he just likes running the football all the time. Like he hit
Yeah.
9 carries, and he looks good doing it. So
He's got wheels. He's got like he's kind of got like the Brock Purdy wheels. Like Brock Purdy is
Yeah.
a sneaky athlete. Like
yeah,
he gets the first downs with his legs quite
yeah,
often.
I can see that. And oh yeah, the worst part: Jaleel McLaughlin and Javante Williams had 5 carries apiece.
And McLaughlin got in the end zone though, but
Yeah, and Javante doesn't even have the goal line work secured. Oh, he did. Oh, he got stuffed 3 straight times running it up the gut. Needed 1 yard.
it's
Couldn't
so
do it.
weird because he's such a he's like who you want as your goal line back.
And
He's a hard hitting,
I know.
ferocious running back, and yet
Maybe
that's been his problem since he's been in the league. He doesn't get touchdowns.
he was fine. He was great his rookie year. He was set to be a top dynasty running back. He was looking like the next big thing because he was a super high draft pick.
Yeah.
Broncos traded up into the early second round. I think maybe the first pick of the second round. Something
Him
like
and
that.
Cam Akers.
Well, that too, but yeah. So just stay away. It's not. I mean, it's not worth it. They liked to have the committee and the offense isn't good enough. You see, even in a game that they blew the Bucks out of the water, won 26-7, there was no offensive consistency running the ball. So stay away. Gonzo kept trying to trade him to me all day yesterday afternoon.
That's
As we
hilarious.
went to the
Dude.
game together, he's like, "It could be yours." I'm like, "I'm gonna shove it up yours."
Yeah,
So,
that's funny.
but yeah, final key takeaway when I'm very glad to have my actions rewarded for drafting Mr. Rashi Rice. Is it going to be a top 10 fantasy wide receiver the rest of the season? Like if we did a redraft right now, I think we'd be shocked if he got out of the first round, maybe second round. I think that's
Yeah.
where he belongs. He
No, I
had
think he'd be in the second
14
round for sure.
targets,
Um,
14 targets, 12 catches for 110 and a touchdown, and he could have had another.
I think if I could go back in time, I would probably take him over Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, okay. Garrett Wilson was the second round pick. Who would you rather have
I
on your team the rest of the year?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think that like production wise, they've been pretty similar, but I just think that Rashi Rice will get in the end zone more.
No, Rashi Rice is, if not for some weird outlier games, he is he is the number 1, 2, 3, 4. He's wide receiver 4 on the year, and he is currently one spot below Nico Collins on the NFL's receiving yard leader.
Okay, I was unfamiliar with your game, Rashi Rice.
Rashi Rice had
That's true.
the
Just had
great
112 yards. So
he
I
had,
don't even know what I'm
he had
talking
103 yards week 1, then 75 and a touchdown, and now he had 110 and a touchdown today. 13,
about. Yeah,
15, 19 standard points.
he's a player that I'm definitely like. I was willing to reach on him, but he just kept falling in our draft, and he's a player that I wish I had just reached on. To be
Well,
honest with you.
clearly, so this is essentially the takeaway I'm trying to make is he fell in drafts because of the suspension rumors, whatever. Which, yeah, that's fine. But even if that wasn't there, I still think he's going to be worth it and outproduce where he would have been drafted anyways, if not for the suspension. He would have gone in the fourth round.
No, he would have gone the second or third. He had just as much promise as Garrett Wilson.
No.
He would have gone before Nico Collins.
No shot.
I think so.
I think he would be a late third, early fourth round pick without the
I had him
suspension.
at the end of last season, and he was putting up like 15 to 17 points a game. So at least the people who had him, they were going to take him pretty early.
But I think he's worth a 1 or 2, or first or second round pick.
I mean, yeah, to trade for him right now, you would have to give up your
I don't know who
best.
else.
You'd have to give up
Would you
at
trade?
least your second best running back or something like that.
So let's play a little game. Who would you rather have as your wide receiver 1 rest of the season? Jamar Chase, Rashi Rice.
Jamar Chase.
The upside's there, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen it
I
yet.
just think I don't know if Rashi Rice is going to put up the 30-point games that, just completely win you the week right then and
Rashi
there.
Rice leads all NFL players in yards after the catch by a mile.
Yeah, I know. It's just Jamar Chase.
I know.
That team is going to get it going eventually.
All right, Marvin Harrison Jr. or Rashi Rice.
You're putting him up against some top talent here.
Well, and that's the point I'm trying to say is I see he's going to be a top 10 receiver.
I will say it's you are making these are hard decisions, so that says something already. But yeah, I'd probably still go Marv there.
Yeah, and who else? Nico.
I'd take Rashi Rice.
Rashi Rice.
I think it'd be
Nico.
more consistent.
Who else was there? I mean, Chris Olave was a second round pick.
I think Rashi Rice.
What about?
There's not many players I wouldn't take Rashi Rice over. So
Yeah, that's my point. He's going to be.
I mean, CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Marv, Neighbors,
Tyreek. Well, okay. With
I don't even
Tua,
know if I would.
Tyreek with Tua.
Yeah. Tyreek with Tua, I guess.
There's
Justin Jefferson.
yeah. Which, by the way, the disrespect we did to that man by
Dude,
not having him as the first or second player off the board. He is the number one wide receiver in our league right now, as it stands.
I knew that he would do what he do.
And yet you took, well, you took Bijan.
I didn't have the option of getting him.
Oh, that's right. You could have
He
taken
went before
Chase.
me.
You could have taken Chase. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
If he had come, if Justin Jefferson and Bijan had been on the board for me, that would have been a way harder decision for me. I'll tell you that much.
yeah.
I was still in on him just because I think Sam Darnold. This isn't the first time he's looked good on an offense. Like he actually looked pretty good in Carolina for until he got hurt. So I don't think he's that bad of a quarterback. I think he'll continue doing it all season. Honestly,
As he should. He is
doesn't
the
need to
best
do that
wide
much.
receiver. No, he's the best wide receiver in the NFL. He's always open. Like just
Yeah.
tell Sam Darnold, hey, 18, throw him the ball.
and he's
That's
doing
it.
that.
And
That's all he needs to do.
I know.
And
It's-
Aaron Jones out of the backfield, dump it off or have a touchdown with Justin Jefferson.
Yeah,
Both are going to be good options.
that's what I'm saying. So I apologize, Mr. J. Jettas, for the fantasy community's disrespect to your greatness. Fair? Fair.
Yeah.
That's all,
All right.
our key takeaways. Do you have anything else? I got one more thing.
I have a mini game. So how about you say your one thing and then we'll go through a quick mini game.
No, mine, it'll be better suited to wrap it up with that.
Okay. We have a quick mini game for Kyle here.
I
Guess
knew
the
it.
top 3 players at each position.
Oh, well, fuck.
All right.
Well, I was
Yeah,
cheating. I was
hold on
looking
your
at
thing.
it. All right.
Okay. At quarterback, what are the top 3 quarterbacks?
Is this after this week? Is it including these points? Like already in? It should
I believe
be.
so.
Okay.
It should
So
be.
number 1, I believe, is Sam Darnold. And then number 2, Derek Carr. And number 3, who would be number 3? Is it Kyler Murray?
You got Kyler Murray, right? But it goes Carr, Mayfield, Murray.
Oh, Mayfield.
Yep.
Damn.
Um,
Really?
yeah, Carr
Even
did
after?
turn into the pumpkin like we said he was going to.
Mm-hmm.
Mayfield had a tough
Wait, Derek Carr is
defense to
still
go
number
against.
1?
Yep.
Hmm.
I actually did look into Mayfield and his production.
There's
I-
no way. There's no way.
Maybe this is after week 2 then.
Yeah, it has to be because.
I mean, I used the fantasy football app, but
Well, here I'll pull it up since we already did quarterbacks.
but either way,
No, I forgot. So, so it wasn't updated.
let
There.
me say this real quick. Baker Mayfield has had super low yardage each of his games. He's just had I think his first game he had 4 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
The game after that he had 3 touchdowns. In this game he had 1. So I would say Mayfield the rest of the season is probably going to come back to where he has always been.
Probably. I've got him on my bench, just hoping for bye week next week or the week after. I think it's week 5 for Hurts and Goff. So, but yeah, Lamar Jackson is the number 1 quarterback right now.
Oh, okay.
But I was close if it was that because it was Lamar 1, Sam Darnold, Derek Carr. So Lamar I just forgot about, and then because I knew because Sam Darnold threw for 4 passing touchdowns this week. I was like, and we haven't had shit. Where's Andy Dalton rank on this list now after starting 1 week? It's honestly probably comical that he's above probably 20% of the starters right now after 1 week.
All right, well, let's move on to the running backs. Guess
all
the
right.
top 3 running backs.
Top 3 running backs. If it's not
This is after 2 weeks. We'll say after 2 weeks.
Well, number 1 is Saquon Barkley. No, I lie. Number 1 is Alvin Kamara. Then Saquon Barkley. Then Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, and is it Joe Mixon?
Nope, it's J.K. Dobbins. But the first two, right?
Damn,
Yep.
and my other guess would have been Jonathan Taylor, but
Yeah.
I have all these stats from this week in my brain.
Yeah, I just wanted to come out and say on the Barkley thing, I was wrong.
Oh yeah,
He might be the running back one this year, and I'll take full responsibility for that.
he's
And Kamara's stats are pretty padded. I'm not gonna lie. He hasn't been as good as his finish is making it seem. I'll just say that.
well because we haven't had a lot of good performers, and it helps
Yeah.
when you have a 48-point game because you get in the end
Exactly.
zone 4 times.
The other two games, like he only even had good games because he made it in the end zone. Without that, they're bad games.
Yeah, but that's
So,
the nature of fantasy football, you know.
yeah, but that's just something to look out for. Like Kamara, I wouldn't be surprised if Kamara has some games where he scores 8 points.
Yeah, see, I would have nailed it too. If it was after this, it would have been Saquon, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry is number 3 right now. So all right,
All right, wide receiver.
wide receiver.
This one's hard. I'll just tell you that it's really hard.
I think I'm gonna get it.
I doubt it.
I think number 1 is because it would have had to have been top 3.
Josh Allen, 67-yard pass to Dalton Kincaid touchdown.
6 yards, dickhead.
I'm just kidding. I just made that up.
Well, I got the sleeper notification going on right
Oh
now.
shit! Actually, oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I just got the notification for that. I was just making that up for real.
Why would you
I was just-
randomly say that? You're such a liar.
No, I'm so serious right now. I got the notification that Josh Allen had a 20-yard pass to him earlier, and I saw that, and I was like, I'm gonna mess with Kyle and say he had a 67 because I had the bonus points,
oh,
and
well, I
then that
paused the
just
game.
happened. That's crazy.
I was gonna
That's
catch up
crazy.
on it.
Okay.
But whatever. All right. Now I lost my spot because now I gotta go check my scores. Anyways, Was it to Kincaid?
The touchdown was.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, bruh. All right, Caleb, you're still not doing it. All right, still not doing it. Okay, so the wide receivers. I'm trying to remember because like the biggest receiver or the receiver performance in week 1. The only person that. All right, so I'm gonna just not from top down, but the top 3. I'm gonna
Yeah,
guess.
just try your top.
All right, Nico Collins has to be there.
Just go through it.
Huh?
Just go through it, and I'll let you know.
All right. Nico Collins, I know has to be in there. Chris Godwin is in there. No.
I'll let you know when you guess the third one.
Okay. Because I know he had those 2 big games. Even not even counting this week. And Justin Jefferson.
You got one right.
Damn. Was it Nico? Obviously.
It's Godwin.
Ah.
Godwin is at 3. Reed was at 2. Jaden Reed
Jaden Reed. I
with the
forgot.
37-point game.
Yeah, I know.
And Rashid Shaheed at 1. So
Stupid. Well, I mean that makes sense. It's tough. Running backs is way easier, and quarterbacks because there's like 1 per team.
yeah,
But think about all the receivers, and then God, I don't even want to try tight end. Tight end.
I didn't put it on there.
Oh, all right. Well, I can pull it up. I'm not gonna look at it. So let's try and guess the tight end.
Okay. After week 3.
Well, yeah. So this is gonna show me. So this is everything. I think Dallas Goedert has to be because I know he got a 20-point game this past week.
Kyle Pitts had a 20-point game too, right?
No,
I think he did, didn't he?
No, he just got a touchdown week 1. He had like 11. No, I would say Dallas Goedert 1, which is gross to think that you can be jumped to the number 1 tight end off 1 performance. Trey
I would
McBride
say
3.
no. I don't think.
McBride is the only one. He fell on a touchdown in the end zone, fumble.
I would put Bowers at 3.
Ooh, okay.
I'll put Bowers at 3, and then maybe McBride at 2, but McBride outside that one game with the touchdown didn't
He's
really
gotten
do
like
anything.
an average of like 40 to 60 yards.
Okay, I like it then. Let's just put him at
All
2.
right, all right. Let's see. Tight end. We're so dumb. We forgot. See, Dallas Goedert is one. So he is
Okay.
now the number one tight end after one good game. Oh, he had 6 points total the other two games combined.
Who we
Number
forget
2, Isaiah Likely. I know. That's
Damn
not
it.
saying we just forgot. But Brock Bowers is 3, and McBride is 5.
Okay. Hey,
And
we got 2 right. That's pretty good, dude.
yeah, McBride's 5 after just fumbling it into a touchdown. Cole Kmet just leapfrogged him by point
Cole
0.6.
Kmet, if we went, I thought about Cole Kmet as well.
Yeah.
He
So
had 20 point game, but
yeah, Kyle Pitts, he only has 105 yards and 1 touchdown on the season. So, and then shit, if I mentioned Hunter Henry, maybe that would have been a good guess too.
ooh,
But he was
yeah.
further down. He hadn't scored a touchdown. You know how much that's important in tight end land. But all right, I like it.
Yeah.
I did. I honestly, I'm kind of proud of myself. I did better than I possibly could have.
Yeah, especially since I messed up what week it was after,
You just
but
gave me the veteran difficulty edition.
Yeah.
That's all right. All right. Yeah, I just want to finish it with this. We can get out of here and go watch the game, and then we'll recap after. It was an Instagram reel. It was a podcast. I don't know what it was, what they were talking about, but they asked the question. I wanted to discuss it. How many yards do you think you would get given 10 carries at running back with an NFL O-line? 10 carries.
I
How many
think it
yards?
drastically depends on the O line.
Oh, come on. Just whatever.
I'm just saying, like it does. If I have Chicago Bears O line, I think it's in the negatives.
Okay, the middle of the road O-line. I
Okay.
don't know.
10 carries,
Mm-hmm.
5 yards.
You think you get 5 yards? You think you only get half a
Yeah.
yard per carry?
I think if I went into it, wait, you're saying that's low? You think I get more?
I think that if you just get handed a dive and you run straight forward into the back of the guard or the tackle, whatever you run, I feel like you have to be able to get at least a yard a carry. Just hand off. You could even
That is true. If I went into it just thinking, hey, I just want to get a yard per carry,
that is true.
I would just go and dive
That's
every
true.
time.
But you're not
and
going to
get
do that. You're not going to do that. So like you're going to
So my thing is like, yeah, I think we have maybe the quickness to get to the line to get some like actual real yardage, but I think neither of us really being running backs before, just thinking logically, like seeing the holes and like knowing where to go, like it's not like TYFL or sorry for people to know, it's not like Little League football where they're like hit the 3 gap. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they have to like the running
No.
backs have to make the decision of where to go. It's not just hit the 3 gap, put your head down.
I know, but if see, my thing is I think my vision would be okay. Like I would be able to find where to run. My thing is, I'm not breaking a single tackle. A D tackle just reaches out and if he just clotheslines me, like I'm not breaking a
Fling you
single
back
tackle,
5 yards.
and I'm not falling forward. Unless somehow someone they clip my ankles and I fall forward. But like if I'm
think
getting hit,
maybe if you just keep a perpendicular running stance, like you literally run downhill, you could probably get 3 yards to carry.
no. I'm not pushing the pile. I'm not. There's a 400-pound man on the other side.
Yeah,
who-
but your momentum plus you just literally being like this.
Okay, imagine a 6-year-old running full speed at you. That's like that's the equivalent to
Well,
me.
No, dude. Okay, they're not that much bigger than us compared to a 6-year-old.
A D tackled DeForest Buckner across
You're
from.
6 foot tall, dude.
I know.
He's 5 inches taller than you. A 6-year-old is literally feet shorter than us.
I can bench press probably 200 pounds. He's rocking a cool 505. It's not about necessarily just the size, it's the pure strength that these men have versus
How
me.
much is a 6-year-old bench pressing? Not even the bar.
I It's a hyperbolic statement. What I'm saying is, I don't think I'm breaking a single tackle. I'm not pushing the pile forward. So
Okay, well, how many yards? I don't think you've said. How
no,
many
no.
how many yards you get?
10 carries. If I'm not just going for it, if I'm actually trying to play running back, I say probably 10. Maybe I get a 3
A yard
yarder.
per carry.
I get a 3 yarder, but then I get hit in the backfield and
Yeah.
lose 3 yards. So it's like,
I'll
I
give myself a yard per carry as well. But I do think it just matters so much about what kind of run play it is and all those other things. Like if I get
that's
a jet
true.
sweep, it's like way easier to get
Oh,
more
there no,
yardage.
there's
I don't
there's
have to
zero
run
chance. If
middle.
if I have to run 10 jet sweeps, I'm rushing for negative 35 yards.
What?
Yeah,
You don't even have to go through the D line.
that's fine. The corners and safeties are way faster than I'll ever be, and they'll beat me to the. I'm
Yeah, but
not.
they're about the same size as you. You
I
may actually be able to break a tackle from one of them.
maybe one, but I mean it's gonna be like watching BJ Raji take a jet sweep, just moving in slow motion on the TV. I can just see it.
That is true. You probably run a slower 40 than most of the DNs.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So if it's anything outside or anything lateral, I'm not winning. I'm not turning the corner. I'm not doing that. So I would lose all of.
I will say, I've always thought I could do way better as a wide receiver, even though I'm super short in the NFL than I could as a running back.
Why?
I don't know. You don't think so?
No.
You don't think you do better as a wide receiver?
No. No. I think corners are way more physical than like led to believe. You know, if you're not
Well, for
watching.
sure, they're gonna try and jam you at the
Right.
line and stuff like that. But
I'll get my ass jammed at the line, and I'm not even getting off the line.
corners aren't as like big and strong as like most corners bench press max. Their bench press max is probably 225.
No, because you know how I know this? They all
There's
do 225 at the combine, and they all
yes,
do
and a lot of the
multiple reps.
quarterbacks and wide receivers do like 5 reps.
Yeah, that's not your max. Yeah,
Okay, but so they can bench 245, whatever.
yeah. I'm just saying. I don't know. Um, I just yeah. I don't. I was never the best receiver, anyways, especially with like all the gear on, and I don't know.
Well, yeah, that was the thing I was probably best at, but
But I just know. I just thought it was an interesting topic. I saw them talking
yeah, I like
about
that.
it. Um, but yeah, anything outside, I'm losing all the yards. I'm not.
I think I'm actually a switch. I think you're right because I don't think we're making it past the D end. First of all,
No, no, we're not.
yeah, they're not going to be able to block long enough for us to get. It's going to take us 5 seconds to get out of the backfield.
And with all of the piss and shit running down my pants, I'm gonna be weighed down the second I see T.J. Watt.
Dude, if I saw
Turns-
TJ Watt, I would take a knee, dude. I would not even try.
No,
It would end my life. I would be
Imagine-
looking like Ryan Shazier.
imagine just running a counter. So you wait for them to pull, and you turn around, and you see T.J. Watt.
Just
No.
punches you in the face.
For Trump, bitch.
You see Nick Bosa? Oh wait, we're white. We're good.
Wait. Oh, okay. I thought you were telling me like, oh, did I see Nick Bosa like do
No, no,
something?
no.
And I was like, "Hey, was it a commercial? Did he say that? No way, he said that, right?
No.
All right, we're done. We're gonna be right back, and we'll recap the doubleheader on Monday night, seeing how it goes. Caleb, I don't care if you got your lucky little double touchdown tonight. He needs 80 points. Ain't happening. All right. We will be right back.
Bye.
And we're back. Just like that.
We
In a
back.
flash. No time has passed at all.
It has not been 3 hours.
Nope. We didn't even watch the games. What games?
No, we decided we took like 5 minutes. I went and took a piss, and then we just came back.
So we're going to predict what will happen.
I'm gonna predict that Josh Allen has 4 touchdowns in the first half.
That's spicy. But
We'll see.
I think it's even more spicy to say that the Bills win 47-10 in complete blowout. And
Dude, I don't know about
Jaden
that.
Daniels completes 91% of his passes for an NFL rookie record.
The most inaccurate quarterback of the season? I don't know about that, dude. Come on. He's just a running back.
We're talking about Jaden Daniels, not Anthony Richardson. Yeah, Mr.
Bo Nix has one good game. Now you're talking shit.
See, we didn't even have to go there. He played
did.
great. Completed 70% of his passes. Mr. 50%. That's what I'm going to call Anthony Richardson. Mr. 50%.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Anyways, we finished up the week. It's done. I got my dub. And I ended up coming back.
I got my
DFS.
first dub of the season as well. So I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Justin can finally start to even ask to sit at the big kids table. You're now even just allowed to ask.
Listen, the fantasy resurgence that I had tonight needs to be studied.
What do you mean?
I'm back, baby. I'm back. My team is back. Week 4, I'll have Kenneth Walker and Mostert back.
You scored 79 points this week.
But I'm back, baby. Not Jade Daniels looks like the real deal now. Looks like he got his confidence, so I'm starting him next week against the Cardinals. I can confidently probably put Terry McLaurin in my flex if I need to, but I probably won't need to because I'll have Mostert or Jaden Reed to put in my flex. And yeah, the rest of my team has actually been solid the whole year. I mean, Garrett Wilson's been not what you hoped for, but he's been okay. Jaden Reed's been okay. Bijan and Kenneth Walker have been good, so
Yeah.
making a comeback, baby. I was looking at the other teams in the league, and I'm like, maybe my team hasn't performed, but just looking at my team, I was like, it's still a really good team compared to some other teams in our league. So,
You know what they say, you are what your record is.
well, I'm 1-2, baby.
Don't sound as good as 3-0. So get ready tomorrow morning for my celebratory top of the league post.
What I'm hearing is you're gonna do the opposite of what you did last year.
Nah, hell no. Team's built to last, baby. Anyways,
You're gonna win 7 games and lose the rest.
we'll see. Unlikely. However, we're done. We finished up. Even though we hate to break it to you, we're not fortune tellers. We did actually watch the games, and the games are over. And
But
Josh
we did
Allen,
know that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's written down right here.
Yeah, see the proof. It's written down.
I told you, like, what was that, almost a week ago? Josh Allen's gonna finish the quarterback 1.
That is true. His
week,
bet the house. Josh Allen, quarterback 1, and he did. In our league, in our scoring format, he finished number 1 with over 38 points. It was a complete dismantling of a doo-doo
Yeah, that was
Jags
crazy.
team.
And Keon Coleman looked good.
I mean, I looked at the box score. Josh Allen completed passes to 10 different receivers. And that's exactly what my takeaway was last week. Granted,
Yeah.
they all got in the end zone, so like I guess it's not complete bust, but that's not going to happen every week. So
Yeah.
Josh Allen was great per usual, and then a touchdown, Keon's first touchdown. Who else got in there? Shakir.
Yeah, Shakir.
Some guy named
Kincaid.
Johnson.
Kincaid was
Oh yeah.
So Kincaid. Okay, so I found my back on track sheet, And of course, this is the week that outside of our last call fantasy football bet or parlay, I didn't actually do any betting, but I'm batting a hot bat right now. My back on track players, I went 3 for 3. We had Garrett Wilson versus Miami. He got a touchdown. He's back on track. ETN ended up having a decent game, back on track. And Kincaid versus Jacksonville.
No, you said ETN. ETN sucked.
He had 10 points.
Oh, what? Oh, what am I thinking of? What did he do? Oh,
Who?
ETN had 68 rush yards, 17 receiving. Honestly, for a team that got beat 47-10, that's probably
I would say I'd give it a yellow, I guess, but
yeah. All right,
Yeah.
fine.
We're good.
But yeah, it was two extremely offensive games tonight, which hasn't been the case.
Yeah, which I was making fun of watching the Commanders game, and then I ended up watching that game the entire time
I know.
because
It was so much
way
better.
more exciting.
Oh, I stopped watching at halftime. I just watched the Commanders game.
Oh, even before halftime. Well, I had both of them on at the same time, but
Well, true. Just paying attention to one. But yeah, the Commanders 30 what was it? 38 36 or sorry, 38-33.
No.
5-point game. Commanders beat Joe Burrow. The Bengals are 0-3. And you know like the crazy stat that says the percentage chance to make the playoffs after starting 0-3 is like 0. It's not, but
Well, in
teams
their division,
rarely do
it's
it.
definitely hard.
Well, you got the
They're not
3-0
winning the division, I'll
Steelers.
tell you that. Yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow still hasn't really looked back, man.
What Joe Burrow did great this game.
But he just doesn't look back.
I thought he looked fine.
I
think
didn't
the
think
Bengals
he
as a
had the
team-
Joe Burr swagger still. I didn't see the confidence, just him just slinging the ball. They ran the ball a lot with success.
Yeah, I saw Chase Brown and Zach Moss had decent splits. Chase Brown actually was more efficient, but
Yeah.
Zach Moss he got the garbage time touchdown. So if anyone needed that, there you go.
And there was no long bombs. It was just chipping away down the field, which actually I think kind of
Well,
worked against
except for
them
the
because it took so much
60-yard
time off the
touchdown.
clock.
Except for the 60-yard touchdown to Jamar to start the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Burrow was the QB3 on the week. We got the QB 1 and 3 and 5, 1, 3, and
Look.
5 tonight. This is going to be a glorious week for fantasy managers out there who got their week 1 by 3 of the top 5 quarterbacks in the week.
Yeah. I'm not saying he didn't do good for fantasy. Just saying he hasn't looked as Joe Shiesty as normal.
I disagree. I thought he looked great. 324 and 3. That'll do. That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
Not against Jaden Daniels, though.
He outscored Jaden
The next
Daniels,
coming of RG3.
which is kind of crazy looking at that now. It must be the bonus points in our league. Well, no, he had 70 more passing yards than Jaden Daniels, but yeah, we
He outscored Jaden Daniels.
yeah, Jaden Daniels had 32 and Joe Burrow had 35. But like I said, in our scoring format, we have those bonus points for the bomb touchdown. So he probably got.
Yeah, I
more
was gonna
than
say
Jamar.
because in the FanDuel he only had 28 points.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's also 4-point passing touchdowns.
Mm.
So, yeah, on to week 3. We have, who is it? It's Cowboys Giants, I believe, is a Thursday night game coming up this week. Which, watching the Giants,
They
is
do
like
that
watching
every year. The Cowboys Giants game.
because it's a
I know
Cowboys
it's
always get eyeballs
division
and
rivalry
yeah.
and
Remember there was a year where the NFC East was just like in prime time all the time, and we were just like, please stop showing
that was
me
the year
this.
that was the year that
The
Redskins at the time won the division with like 6 wins.
yeah, every team in the division had a losing record. That had never been done
Yeah,
before.
actually I think that was the first year that they were the Commanders. Now I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it.
I don't remember. I just don't. Well, we'll preview it. We'll be here. But yeah, just wanted to close it out. Let all y'all know that I ended up coming back on the DFS challenge, so Justin owes me another beer chug. We didn't do any bets.
Yep.
Um,
We did.
oh yeah, well I guess I owe you one too, because I just found it as soon as I said that. I
Okay.
say bet that DeAndre Swift was gonna have over 65 yards on the ground.
Oh wow. I think I kind of forced you into that bet though.
I
But
was
you
I
made
was
it.
standing on it, so we'll see.
You thought the Colts D line was worse than it was.
I just think the Bears O line is worse than possibly imaginable.
This is also
God
true.
awful, but
I think DeAndre Swift is also bad.
we'll see. We'll see. Don't start him until he proves otherwise. Just don't do that.
Yeah. He's
Don't
on
do
our
that.
don't start list.
Unstartable. But yeah,
What
that's
should we
it.
call that? The Alakbar list or
No, what does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
No. Um.
Self exploding.
Ooh. I'll think of something. I'll think of something. It'll be alright. Well, that's it. We're done for the week. We're gonna quit rambling. We're gonna get out of here. It's late. I'm tired.
Or tired.
I know. It's a long weeks of watching football, man. When you do this and you watch all the stuff, it gets to be a lot. So we're out of here. As always, at Last Call Fantasy Football on Instagram. We're still gonna be posting some heat. Still growing the Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter if you
Trying.
want. We don't post much on there, but I like Twitter
I haven't
followers.
posted on Twitter since it was called Twitter.
Right? We even still have the Twitter logo on our overlay right here. We need to
Yeah.
update. But subscribe to
Uh,
the YouTube, like the videos, and that's it. We're out of here. Don't miss the last call for fantasy football. Deuces.